Dear students, about natural language processing, today we are going to discuss about the fifth unit, that is statistical methods. Okay, so fifth unit is going to explain about the statistical methods. What is the statistical method? Statistical methods is explains about how it is related to the databases and how it is correlated with the functionalities. That is, so here this topic is going to discuss that natural language processing or computational linguistics is concerned with the theoretical and practical issues in the design and implementation of computer system. Okay, so for processing human languages, it is an interdisciplinary field which draws on other areas of study such as computer science, artificial intelligence, and linguistics and logic. Okay, so if you see that what are the applications of natural language processing is, natural language processing is interfaces with the databases, programs for classifying and retrieving documents by content, explanation generation for expert systems for machine translation and advanced word processing tools. Okay, what makes NLP a computational challenge? It is about ambiguous nature of natural language, and there are varied applications for language technology that are knowledge representation is a difficult task, and there are different levels of information encoded in our natural language processing. Okay, what is statistical NLP? Statistical NLP aims to perform statistical interference for the field of NLP. What is statistical inference is, it is a consist of taking some data generated in accordance with some unknown probability distribution and making inferences. Okay, what are the motivations for statistical NLP? The quantitative modeling of the human language processing has not reached a stage where we can have a complete mapping between the language signal and the information contents. Complete mapping is not always required, but statistical approach provides the flexibility required for making the modeling of a language more accurate. Idea behind the statistical NLP is, it is about the view language processing as a, it is the view of language processing as a noisy channel information transmission. The approach requires a model that characterizes the transmission by giving for every message the probability of the observed input. So statistical modeling is classified as primitive acoustic features, quantization, and maximum likelihood and related rules, and a class conditional density function and hidden Markov model methodology. Okay, statistical model classification is about primitive acoustic features, quantization, maximum likelihood, class condition, and hidden Markov model. Okay, so the primitive acoustic features are used to estimate the speech spectrum on the basis of its statistical properties. By means of quantization, a typical speech signal can be represented as a sequence of symbols and can be mapped using statistical decision rules into a multidimensional acoustic features space, thus classifying the signal. What is maximum likelihood? Although there is no direct method for computing the probability of a phonetic unit, given its acoustic features, we can use Bayes' rule to estimate the probability of a phonetic class given by its features from the likelihood of the features given as a class. And this method leads to the maximum likelihood classifier, which assigns an unknown vector to that class whose probability density function conditioned on the class has the maximum value. So another variant of the maximum likelihood methodology is clustering. Hidden Markov model. A hidden Markov model is a set of different states, that is lexical categories in this case, with directed edges labeled with transition probabilities that indicate the probability of moving to the state at the end of the directed edge, given that one is now in the state that at the start of the edge. The states are also labeled with a function which indicates the probabilities of outputting different symbols if in that state, while in a state or outputs a single symbol before moving to the next state. So here the symbol output from a state category is a word belonging to that lexical category. This is the diagram that is explaining about how it is Markov model. Here you can see the sentence is dogs chase cats. How the dogs chase catches or how dog cat chases is a combination. Okay, here we can see the combination of the three words or how it is going to be considered. That is, output probabilities are here dog catches is 0.3, dogs is 0.3 and cats are 0.4. This is the transition probability of start noun verb noun. Okay, is related with the noun starting with the verb and pronouns. Okay, this is how the chances of the combination of the words are existing. Okay, conditional class density function is about all statistical methods of speech recognition depend the class conditional density function. So these in turn depend on the existence of a sufficiently large and currently labeled training and well understood statistical estimation techniques. Okay, how does statistics help for this natural language processing? Through this statistical methods, disambiguation may be achieved by using stochastic context-free grammars. It helps in providing degrees of grammatically naturalness and structural preferences and error tolerance. This is about the statistical methods. And see, here we can see the example of stochastic context-free grammar. For example, consider the sentence that John walks. The grammar is as follows. That is, the first sentence is noun phrases with 0.7 and noun phrases with and sentence is noun phrase with noun and noun phrase with noun and noun is John is 0.6% and noun walks is about 0.4% and verb that is walks about 1%. The numbers on the right present is the weight of the each rule. The weight of the analysis is the product of the weights of the weight of the analysis is the product of the weights of the rules used in the deviation. Predicting the right sentence that is perceived is based on these weights. Okay. The numbers on the right present is the weight of the rule. The weight of the analysis is the product of the weights. So, predicting the right sentence that is perceived is based on these weights. Degrees of grammaticality. Traditional approaches to NLP do not accommodate gradations of grammaticality. A sentence is either correct or not. In some cases, acceptability may vary with the structure and context of a sentence. Okay. Structure preference. Consider the sentence that the emergency crews hate most is domestic violence. The correct interpretation is the emergency that the crew hate most is domestic violence. These preferences can be seen more as a structural preferences rather than parsing preferences. Statistical approaches can easily handle such structural preferences. As we know what is error tolerance, a remarkable property of human language comprehension is error tolerance. Many sentences that the traditional approach classifies as ungrammatical can actually be interpreted by statistical natural language techniques. Okay, this is about the statistical methods And the next topic in fifth unit is about probabilistic language processing. Probabilistic language processing. What is meant by probabilistic language processing? So probabilistic language processing is a model that rules of a language as a probability gives great power for NLP related tasks. Language models are used in speech recognition, machine translation, part of speech tagging, parsing, optical character recognition, handwriting recognition, information retrieval, and many other daily tasks. So, this probabilistic error is aims and goals of computational linguistics to be able to understand and act on human languages to be able to fluently produce human languages applied goals. Machine translation, question answering, information retrieval, speech driven personalized text mining, reporting generation is like that. The big questions for linguistic science: what kinds of things do people say? What do these things they say about the world? I argue that answering these involves questions of frequency, probability, and likelihood. We can see an example that a cholera outbreak in London. So here the sentence is made breaking into many years ago during a cholera outbreak in London. A physician plotted the location of cases on a map, properly visualized that the data indicated that cases clustered around certain intersections where there were polluted wells, not only exposing the cause of cholera but indicating what to do about the problem. Here we can see the cluster of the cholera is plotted. Okay. Conceptual clustering. As what we know, what is a cluster? Cluster is a region where it is related to affected to. Conceptual clustering is about the clustering the problem given a collection of unclassified objects and a mean for measuring the similarity of objects, that is distance metric, and the classes, that is clusters of objects such that some standard of quality is met. For example, maximize the similarity of objects in the same class. Essentially, it is an approach to discover a useful summary of the data. Okay, so ideally we would like to represent clusters and their semantic explanations. In other words, we would like to define clusters or extensionally or intentionally. For instance, compare X such that X teaches artificial intelligence at MTUCS. Okay, and John Luther nuclear or author. Cars have dimensionality. While clustering looks intuitive in two dimensions, many applications involve 10 or 10,000 dimensions. High dimensional spaces look different. The probability of random points being close drops quickly as the dimensionality is growing. Higher dimensionally examples. Observation that customers who buy disappears are more likely to buy beer than average allowed supermarkets to place beer and diapers nearby, knowing many clusters would walk between them. Placing potato chips between increases the sales of all three items. Sloan Digital Sky Survey is explaining about a cool tool to map the universe. Objects are represented by their radiation in 9 dimensions. Each dimension represents radiation in one band of the spectrum. Clustered 2 by 10 to the power of 9 sky objects into similar objects, that is stars, galaxies, or quasars, or etc. The objective was to catalog and cluster that entire visible universe. Clustering sky objects by their radiation levels in different bands allowed astronomers to distinguish between galaxies, nearby stars, and many other kinds of celestial objects. Clustering seed is also institution. Music divided into categories and clusters prefer a few categories. What are the categories are really is it is representing a CD by the clustering customer who bought it, and similar CDs have similar sets of customers and vice versa. The space of CDs, that is, think of a space with one dimension for each customer. Values in a dimension may be 0 or 1. Only a CD's point in this space is x1 or x2, x3, x to the power of x to the n, where xi is equal to 1 if and only if the ith customer bought the CD. So compare this with the correlated items, that is row is equal to customers and columns is equal to CDs. Okay. Clustering documents. Query, that is Salsa submitted to Meta Crawler returns the following documents among others. That is how to dance salsa, government salsa, diet scene in Rachel, Michigan salsa, like that. It also asks how are looking for music salsa. It is related to the cluster of salsa. The clusters are dance, receipt, clubs, sauces, by Mexican bands. These are the different clusterings. And documents may be thought of as points in a high dimensional space where each dimension corresponds to one possible word. And clusters of documents in this space often correspond to groups of documents on the same topic, that is documents with similar sets of words may be about the same topic. Here represent a document by a vector is, that is x1, x2, x3, xn or xi is equal to 1 if and only if the ith word is appears in the document. Okay. So analyzing protein sequences are about objects or sequences, that is distance between sequences is edit distance. The minimum number of inserts and deletes to turn one into the other. Note that there is a distance but no convenient space of points. Here we can see the measured distance, that is to discuss whether a set of points is close enough to be considered a cluster. We need a distance measure, that tells how far points x and y. Okay. The axioms for a distance measure d is equal to x comma x, that is equal to 0, which a point is distance to 0 from itself. Okay, like that d of xy is equal to is greater than or equal to 0, that is distance is positive. We can see the k dimensional Euclidean space, that is the distance between any 2 points, say a is equal to a1 a2 ak and b is equal to b1 b2 bk, is given in some manner such that common distance is equal to L2, that is summation I is equal to 1 to the power of k, a is ai minus bi whole square is under root, that is we can see the diagram, and monotone distance and maximum of dimensions, that is L is infinity to norm. Okay, how it is related to non-Euclidean spaces. Here are some examples where a distance measure without a Euclidean space makes sense, that is web pages, character strings and objects represented as sets of symbolic rather than numeric features. Okay. Here we can see the non-Euclidean spaces, that is object 1 is equal to small red rubber ball, object 2 small blue rubber, object 3 large black wooden. Similarity of object 1, 2, 3 is object 1, object 2 is equal to 3 by 4. Similarity of object 1, object 3 is equal to 1 by 4. And note that it is possible to assign different weights to features. Approaches to clustering about broadly specified centroid approaches and hierarchical approaches, that is centroid approaches and hierarchical approaches. The k-means algorithm, that is pick k cluster centroids, is about assign points to clusters by picking the closest centroid to the point in question. As points are assigned to clusters, the centroid of the cluster may be migrate. We can see the example that suppose that k is equal to 2 and we assign points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that order. Outlined circles represent points, filled circles represent centroids, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 we can see in the diagram, that is K means algorithm. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here 1 and 2 are clusters, and 1, 3 and 2 are clusters, and 1 and 3, 2 or 4 are clusters, and 1, 3, 5 and 2, 4 are the different clusters. Okay, so 1 and 2 are leading to 1, 3, 2, 1, 3 and 2, 4. Two clusters are leading to 1, 3, 5 and 2, 4 different two clusters. Okay, so what are the issues? How to initialize the K centroids? Pick points sufficiently far away from any other centroid until there are K. As computational progresses, one can decide to split one cluster and merge two to keep the total at K. A test for whether to do so might be to ask whether doing so reduces the average distance from points to their centroids. Having located the centroids of K clusters, we can reassign all points, since some points that were assigned earlier may actually wind up closer to another centroid as the centroids move about. Like this, how it is centroid by clustering. Okay, you can see in the diagram. Here this is about the determining of K, that is average radius, how it is falling down. This failure to drop further suggests that K is equal to 3. Here we can see that K is equal to 3 is right. This conclusion can be made even if the data is in so many dimensions that we cannot visualize the clusters here. Okay, so here the cluster to algorithm. Cluster to algorithm is select K seeds from the set of observed objects, and this may be done randomly or according to some selection function. Second one is for each seed using that seed as a positive instance and all other seeds as negative instances, produce a maximally general definition that covers all of the positive and none of the negative instances. Multiple classifications of non-seed objects are possible. Okay, this is about the cluster to algorithm. Okay, the same algorithm is given by like this. Here the steps of cluster 2, how it is moving forward. That is, after selecting seeds, that is the step 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Okay, see here it is the clustering is dividing like this, and the 1, 2 clustering is after generating general descriptions. Step 2 to 3, note that the categories are overlapping. The categories are overlapping. From second to third, it is after specializing concept descriptions. That is step 3 to 4, there are still intersecting elements in between two clusters, is it not? As we studied about the Boolean algebra in what is it intersects. Here it is the 2 points are clustering in the 2, 1. Okay. Here after eliminating duplicate elements, it is the step 5 element. How it is, you can see that the both are related is eliminating, and it is here we can see that. Okay, document clustering. Document clustering is automatically group related documents into clusters given some measure of similarity. For example, we can have the medical documents, legal documents, financial documents, and web search documents. Okay, so given n documents, create a n by n doc by doc similarity matrix. N by n documents similarity matrix. Each document starts as a cluster of size 1. So do until there is only one cluster, that is combine the two clusters with the greatest similarity, that is if x and y are the most mergeable pairs of clusters, then we create x to y as the parent of x and y. Hence the name hierarchical is related to that, and update the document to document matrix. So that is the same is given as an example, that ABCDE as a document with the following similarities. We can see that ABCD is how it is communicating and how it is drawing on the table. That is The pair with the highest similarity is B to E. B to E is, that is 14. Okay. It is B to E is 14. Okay. That it is B to E is, to let cluster B and E, we now have the following structure. How it is deviating from this, you can see here. Update the document to document type, that is A to A, A to B, A to C, A to D, B to A, like that. But these are the weights of the documents. These are the numbers, are the weights of the documents. Highest link is A to D, that is, so let's cluster A to D, and we now have the following structure, that is A to D is A to D and C, B to BE. Okay, this is how the example to document matrix is given by. Okay, this is the highest link in BE to C. Okay, this is the point that they only two models are have not been clustered. So we cluster AD and BC. We now have the following structure, that is ABCD is A to D and BCE. So A to D is A to D and BC is B to CE and B is BC. How it is? It is like by parsing, how the statement is dividing into noun phrase, verb phrase, like that. Time complexity analysis. Hierarchical agglomerative clustering, that is HAC, requires, that is ordering of N2 to compute the document to document similarity matrix, and one node is added during each round of clustering, and for each clustering step we must recompute the document to document matrix. This requires order of n time. So we have n square plus n into n, that is order of n square. So it's expensive. For 5 lakhs documents, it is n square is this much is the number, that is. Okay. One pass clustering. Choose a document and declare it to be in a cluster of size 1. Now compute the distance from this cluster to all the remaining nodes and add closest node to the cluster. If no node is really close within some threshold, start a new cluster between the two closest nodes. This is the example that we can consider the following nodes: A to B, B, C, D to E. Okay. So choose node A as the first cluster and it is neighboring that. Now compute the distance between A and the other others. B is the closest, so cluster A and B. Compute the centroid of the clusters that just formed, that is. Time complexity analysis. One pass requires that n passes as we add node for each pass. First pass requires n1 and comparisons. Second pass requires n2 comparison. Last pass needs, that is 1. So we have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 are n minus 1 is equal to n minus 1 into n by 2, that is n square minus n by 2 is equal to order of n square. The constant is lower for one pass, but we are still at n square. Okay, so remember that k means, that is clustering, and pick k points as the seeds of k clusters. At the onset there are k clusters of size 1. So do until all nodes are clustered, that is pick a point and put it into the cluster whose centroid is closest and recompute the centroid of the modified cluster. Time complexity analysis. K means requires that each node gets added to cluster. For each addition, we need to compare 2k centroids. We also need to recompute the centroids after adding the new node. This takes a constant amount of time. The total time needed is k plus c, that is k plus c into n, that is order of n. So it is a linear algorithm. We can see that how the nearby clusters are tends to be. Okay, if the seeds are B and E, the resulting clusters are A, B, C and D, C, F. If the seeds are D and F, the resulting clusters are A, B, C, D and C, F. Here are two questions that we can see that why did the computer go to the restaurant and what do you do when you have a slow algorithm that produces quality results and a fast algorithm that cannot guarantee quality. The questions for you is to get a bite. What do you mean when you have a slow algorithm that produces quality results is to get a bite. And this is the second one is many things that one option is to use the slow algorithm on a portion of the problem to obtain a better starting point for the last algorithm. Okay, this is the buckshot clustering. Clustering. The goal is to reduce the runtime by combining HAC and k-means clustering. Select the D documents where D is a square root of n. Cluster these D documents using HAC and this will take order of n time. Use the results of HAC as initial seeds for k-means. It uses HAC to bootstrap k-means. The overall algorithm is order of n and avoids problems of bad seed selection. Okay, getting k clusters, cut where you have to k clusters here it is. Okay, so this is the effect of document order and computing the distance, that is time in our complexity analysis. We find is the time required to compute the distance between two nodes. Sometimes this is an expensive task depending on the analysis is required. Okay, so computing the distance, that is methods is all pairs of points in the clusters are between the centroid and all the points in the cluster. To compute the intercluster distance for HAC, single link, complete link, group average and centroid distance. Okay, single link is distance between closest neighbors, complete link is about distance between farthest neighbors, group average is about the average distance between all pairs of neighbors, centroid distance is distance between centroids most commonly used. Okay, here these are the different applications of the clustering, that structuring search results, suggesting related pages, automatic directory construction, and problems that we can face is polysemy, that is bad Washington bands, multiple aspects of a single topic and ultimately amounts to generate problem of information structuring. This is about clustering versus classification. Clustering is when the clusters are not known. If the system of clusters is known and the problem is to place a new item into the proper cluster, this is the classification. Okay, how many possible clusterings? If we have n points and would like to cluster them into k clusters, then there are k clusters. The first point can go to, there are k clusters for each of the remaining points. So the total number of possible clusters is k to the power of n. Brute force enumeration will not work. That is why we have iterative optimization algorithms that start with the clustering and iteratively improve it. Finally, that the noise outliers is a problem for our clustering too. One can use statistical techniques to identify the outliers. Okay, so this is about the cluster structure, that is hierarchical versus fat and exhaustive versus non-exhaustive, outliers and versus what to do, and how many clusters are how many large. Measuring the quality of the clusters are a good clustering is one where intra-cluster distance, the sum of distances between objects in the same cluster are minimized. That is, inter-cluster distance is the distances between different clusters are maximized. The objective is to minimize, that is F, that is infra to inter. And here the related communities are about the clustering is data mining, statistics, clustering algorithms, visualization and databases. So this is about the statistical methods and the remaining topics that we discussed here, and you just go through this. If you want to know more about, you can mail me your point so that we can discuss more about it. Thank you.